Hi there, I'm Dr. Carrie Demers, and I'm here again to talk to you about another Wellness Wednesday topic. And today we're talking about Ayurveda and the seasons with a focus on winter. I've already done two other of these talks, one focused on summer and then one focused on fall. So if these ideas appeal, know that they're out there in the Facebook world somewhere. You can look at them again. The simple concept is that Ayurveda has a lot of practical advice to keep us well in each season. And if you're new to Ayurveda, know that it's this immense, traditional medical system from India. And like any medical system, it's complicated, but at its heart, Ayurveda is all about wellness and prevention. And its basic principles are really accessible, practical, and easy. So in this season, in the winter season, the qualities of what's called kapha dosha, rise. And kapha is the mixture of earth and water. So think about the qualities of those, that they're cool and heavy and dense and stable, but they're also prone to inertia, to congestion. So Ayurveda's advice to us is that notice that these qualities are going to be rising around us in nature. It's going to be colder and denser and darker and wet and heavy, and we're all going to want to stay inside and lay around. And what it says is that we can counter these qualities by the opposite of those qualities. That if we are mindful to add into our life the opposite of these cold, heavy, wet, dense qualities, that we can stay in balance. We can actually prevent problems or illness by this awareness. So what are the opposite qualities of kapha? Right? Warmth to counter the coldness, dryness to counter the wetness, right? Invigoration or movement to counter the stability and heaviness and kind of stuckness that kapha can fall into. So we want to think about adding those qualities to our life. So in this season. So what does that look like? So I have a few practical tips for you that incorporate that idea. The first thing is just warmth. It's a cold season, so we need warmth. So warmth comes in many varieties. One, really important one, is exercise. When we move around, we generate heat in the body, and that actually counters the heaviness and the sort of inert quality of kapha as well. So it's probably the most important thing to counter kapha in winter is movement. So get out there, walk, jog, bike. No, you can't bike. Stationary bike. Go to the gym. I know it's hard in COVID. Maybe you dance around your living room. Do things that actually get you moving. Do yoga, tai chi. It doesn't have to be super vigorous, but keep your body moving. It's going to help a lot. You can also generate heat by soaking in a hot bath or a sauna if you have access to that. That's also this is a good season to do that, to add more heat. Wear enough clothes, right? Sweaters, hats especially. We lose a lot of heat from our heads. So to actually make sure you wear a hat when you go out in the cold weather, super important. And then just even color-wise, like wearing bright colors, reds and oranges and yellows that are warming in nature, can also have a positive effect on our minds. So that's the warmth, invigoration piece. Oh, and then in our food can also be warming. So maybe we all intrinsically eat less raw, less salad during the winter. I think we're not as drawn to it because it doesn't feel right when it's freezing to eat this cold salad. So we're inherently drawn to warm, to cook, to stews, to soups. So keep that going. And then maybe you add some warming spices like ginger, pepper, even cinnamon and clove have a warming quality to add more warmth to the food that we're eating. All right, so warmth. And then the other thing to think about is that we talked about vata rising, this airy, dry quality of wind energy rising in the fall, and it actually continues to be an issue through the cold months. So we don't want to stop pacifying vata. We want to continue that kind of comforting, warming and moistening quality for vata if you're dry. A lot of us are dry in the winter. Dry heat in our houses tend to make us more dry. So we want to make sure that we hydrate in the winter. So that's 2 to 3 liters of fluid a day. And then keep putting oil on your skin. So our skin dries out, and Ayurveda says the best way to nourish your skin, to moisturize it, is to put food-grade edible oil on your skin, because our skin eats it. So we want to keep doing that. If you're moist, if you're inherently oily in your skin, you'll need to do that less. But if you're dry in the winter, please add oil and be mindful of hydration. And then the idea of our immune system needing to be strong during this season. This is the season when people get the most colds, bronchitis, sinus infections, mucus problems, and we also tend to gain weight. So to keep our immune system strong, so we defend against the germs that are out there, you might want to take some precautions like, well, of course, wear a mask, but also take something like an immune tonic like chyawanprash. Chyawanprash is an Ayurvedic, kind of traditional Ayurvedic tonic. It's made from a fruit called amla, which is not common in the US, but it's very high in heat-stable vitamin C. And so you get a lot of vitamin C from taking this amla jam mixed with a lot of other sort of warming and immune supportive spices in this product called chyawanprash. It's kind of like apple butter. It's a spicy, gooey thing, and you can eat a teaspoon of it off a spoon. You can mix it into hot water and sip it, and you can use it like jelly on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So it has lots of adaptability to our meals, to our meal planning. I used to give it to my kids all the time when they were little to help keep them healthy through the winter, and it's definitely a traditional way of supporting the body through this more challenging cold time. The Institute actually sells it on our website. It's really yummy and good quality, and it comes from fresh amla, so it's pretty special. So I recommend that. And just to support our immunity in one other way, it's not really an Ayurvedic way, but since I have you here, I really support people taking vitamin D during the winter. Vitamin D is a vitamin that we make in our skin in response to exposure to sunlight. And at this time of year, we don't get much skin exposure, and the rays of the sun are actually not strong enough to convert that precursor of vitamin D in our skin. So even if you are out in the sun for an hour, you're not going to make a lot of vitamin D in this season. So I recommend taking vitamin D, 4,000 to 5,000 IUs every day until it gets warmer out and we're all more out and the sun is higher. The last thing just to mention is that this is the time of year when people can feel really heavy, and it feels that life feels dark, and we're all more prone to get depressed. So just to be mindful that we need each other to connect with friends, connect with family. Don't isolate. Do things that make you happy, whether it's music or dance or some sort of play, so you keep your mood light and don't get too heavy in this heavy season. All right, so stay warm, move around, eat spicy food, exercise, join with friends, take some vitamin D or chyawanprash, and stay well in this season.